Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my home again. This is Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer. Um, and I've got our June astrological overview. Before I jump into that, uh, for those of you who might be interested, the Atlanta Interfaith Broadcasting Network sent a crew out here a couple of weeks ago. Um, and they interviewed me on my spiritual journey, which I take as a great honor. It's my life. It's nothing out of the ordinary to me, but since I'm not the ordinary, the people are interested. Anyhow, if you are interested in watching that video, I'm going to read this to make sure I get it correct. All you have to do is go to Maxine Taylor and the Spiritual Awakening, and there are spaces between those words, okay? Maxine Taylor and the Spiritual Awakening / Spiritual Journey - YouTube. That's it. Maxine Taylor and the Spiritual Awakening / Spiritual Journey. That's the name of the show. / YouTube. I hope that you find it inspiring. Audrey Galix is the disembodied voice that you'll hear. She was off camera asking questions. And they asked some awesome questions. She asked some awesome questions. And the crew submitted their questions and she asked them. It was an honor. So, anyhow, I hope you enjoy it. Now, let's talk about where the planets are right now. Mercury, of course, is no longer retrograde, thank goodness. And it's also no longer in the shadow of the retrograde. Yes. Venus is not retrograde. I mean, Mars is the usual suspects are flowing beautifully. And so this would be a really good time to consider launching a new project. Now, of course, you want the right day, of course. And some of you want the right minute, for which I am available, of course. So let's talk, first of all, about where the planets are. The sun, the giver of life, is in Gemini. We know that. Until the 21st, when it enters Cancer. Now, Gemini is the communicator. And as you can tell by my left hand wagging at you, Gemini cannot talk without moving their hands. I mean, the mouth is attached to the hands. So if you have any Gemini in your chart, you're one of these people. Okay? Got your number. Understand perfectly. Welcome to my world. Now, Gemini loves to communicate ideas. These not necessarily concepts, but ideas, how to apply the concepts that its opposite sign, Sagittarius, shares. It's the old dumb it down so people understand what you're saying. Okay. Now, on the 21st, when the sun enters the sign Cancer, totally different energy. And those of you who are born during these particular signs, even though it's not necessarily your birthday yet, when the sun enters your birth sign, you start feeling it, which is so cool. All right, back to Cancer. Home, family, real estate, everything that fulfills the emotional need for security. Okay. If I'm out at a party and I'm speaking to a group of people, I always jokingly, because Gemini, we gotta laugh. I always thank the Cancerians for leaving their home and coming to the party or to the talk I'm giving or whatever. They're very, very, Cancerians are very intuitive. They're ruled by the moon, and their moods go up and down. And if you're a Cancerian, you're a psychic sponge. And those of you who are really empathic have difficulty in crowds or parties. You can't go to the mall. You're picking up on everybody. So there's nothing wrong with you. You are incredibly sensitive and incredibly intuitive. Okay, that's the sun. And so wherever the sun is, that is the giver of life. And we'll talk about this in your particular chart, of course. Venus, the planet of love and money and beauty, starts off in Cancer. And so it's love of home and family. And Venus loves sugar. So be aware, okay? When Venus is in your sign, you may crave sweets. Now, some of you do not crave sweets ever. I envy you. On the 5th of June, Venus enters great, grand, glorious Leo, and the show begins. The party starts. Keep in mind that you probably would love to have at least one Leo at your party. Leos are saying, all you need is one. I'll be the star. And they are the star. They'll break the ice. When they have arrived. They are dramatic. They love fun. And yes, children adore them. Pets do too, because our pets are our children. So it's going to be a fun time with Venus in Leo, no matter where it is in your chart. And of course, I'll go over all that with you in the other videos. Mercury, the communicator, right? Mercury is not an action planet. It's a communicating planet. It's a thinking and talking. So Mercury is in practical, logical. Does that come with fries? Taurus. I always laugh with my Taurian friends because if I want to meet for whatever reason, we always do it around food. Taurus does appreciate the good things in life. And Taurus is a very practical, logical, put one foot in front of the other sign. They'll get the job done. Just feed them. On the 11th, Mercury moves into its own sign, Gemini. And you'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference. There's a lot more communication. Watch the news if you can stand it. Because the people who are giving the news are going to be more, there's more news to share, in other words. And they'll be talking and, talking heads. And just enjoy it. This is a time for you to communicate. And I'll share where Mercury is in your chart, your solar chart, in just a minute. On the 26th, Mercury moves into Cancer, and thinking about home and family and real estate, talking to relatives. You're thinking in terms of your own emotional security needs. So when Mercury is in Cancer, it is nothing like how it is in Gemini. Gemini's talking, they're laughing, they're waving their hands like I am now. They're introducing humor. Mercury in Cancer tells you how they feel about what is going on. And this is worldwide, so there will be emotional communications. God love us all. All right, Mars, what we fight with and fight for. It is what comes first to us. It is in Leo all month. So it is time for sports. It is time for fun. Leo rules drama, movies, parties, all the fun things. And I say it's about time. We really need fun. Wholesome fun I'm talking about. Now, Leo also rules children, so this might be a time that your kids, no matter what their ages might be, want more of your attention. And good old Jupiter, the greater benefic. Venus is the lesser benefic, Jupiter is the greater benefic. It rules truth, it rules God's law, it is abundance, it is money, it is everything good. The two good guys of the zodiac are Venus and Jupiter. Jupiter is in Taurus, the sign of money. Oh, yeah. And I know that your ears perked up at that. And so I'm going to include that, of course, in my forecast. Now, let's see. Oh, new moon and full moon. On June 3rd, let's see, today is the 1st. And by the way, sorry to be starting on the 1st, but my birthday was last week and the celebration began earlier than I expected and ended last night. It was great, but you get the picture. Okay. Full moon on the 3rd. Okay. And this is for Eastern Daylight Time. It will be on the 4th in other time zones, but it's right there at 11:42 p.m. So we're, right at the line of demarcation between 2 days. It is on the full moon, everything comes to a head. And of course, I'll go over that with you. It's in 13 Sagittarius. Look at your birth chart and look for 13 Sag, wherever that is. That is the area that's going to come to a head. Now, does this mean it's terrible or horrible? No. It may mean that you finally get that check you've been waiting on. You know what I mean? Okay, so you're gonna, excuse me, my spirit guides do this to me when they have a message and they want me to stay on it. So I don't know what they want me to stay on here with Sag. Truth. Sag rules long distance travel. Are we satisfied? Long distance travel, your higher mind, concepts, principles. It's really quite lovely. So wherever it is in your chart is coming to a head, and you'll feel it when it happens. Think of it as like a guitar string or a violin string that has been turned and turned and turned, and it was turned just a little too much and it exploded. That's the full moon. And it can bring blessings because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is truth. Okay. 2 weeks later, after 2 days in the dark of the moon, where nothing's happening, you look up at the sky, it's dark. The new moon is June 18th, once again, Eastern Daylight Time. That's where I live. So you, of course, change the day according to where you live. It's 12:37 a.m. on the 18th, and it's in 26 degrees, 43 minutes of Gemini. And so we're back to ideas, all right? Not principles and concepts, which of course is the full moon, but sharing ideas, communicating, calling people that you care about. It's the energy that starts flowing. So there we have it. I think that was all. Oh, I am going to be doing my video on my full moon ceremony sometime between today and tomorrow. Like I said, I partied like I was 30 years old. And it ended with dinner with a dear friend of mine, Dr. Arlene Diamco. Some of you know Arlene. Brilliant, brilliant doctor. So that's it, guys. Have a wonderful June and join me in July when once again we get on our bikes and ride. So till then, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now, my dear friends.